Hi everybody, welcome to all my stitchy friends, and if you're new here, I hope you find something that's interesting to you. I've been absent for a couple of weeks. Today is June the 15th, and for those of you who have been following me, you know that I'm preparing to move. Well, I have good news. My house sounds quite empty. I have packed at least in excess of 95% of the house, and I have 3.5 weeks left. So I'm really happy about that. Now I can relax a little more. I just have cleaning to do and those last minute bits and pieces before you move, a couple of days before you move. Not too much stitching to talk about really, but I will tell you, where did I write it is what I want to know. I did 5,000 something stitches, 5,400 stitches in the last 2 weeks. So I certainly for last week, I hardly have any projects to show you. I have a new start. Crazy, but yes, and I'll explain about that. And the week before last week, I did stitch on more projects than I thought, but I've packed them all. All my projects have gone away. I've kept out, I think 6, maybe 7, that I'm going to focus on in the next, say, 4 to 5 weeks, and then we will be settled and I can change things up again. So, what do I have to show you today? Well, first of all, this is where I'm at with Wise and Brave. It is the 2026 SAL with Heaven and Earth Designs. You can't join the SAL anymore. It's been closed since the end of December, I believe. I'm starting to really get into the robin. I just was desperate to stitch the robin. So what I'm concentrating on right now is I'm trying to complete my 6 pages, and I have 3.5 rows left, down to here, left to complete my 6 pages. But am I going to stop there? No, I just love this piece, and I'm going to just keep stitching on it. I'm stitching this on a 25 count Lugano 1/1 full cross. I've tried tench stitch, but I didn't like how it looked on the back, and I really prefer to finish my cross. So yeah, so that's why I do full crosses on everything. Things might get a little crazy around here a little bit because I have Jack and Mia in here. This is really their domain. We're pretty empty. So I'm not too sure how many stitches I put in that, but I have been trying to keep up with 200 stitches a day, and I've missed a couple of days probably. And then what I'm going to show you is, where do I start? I was working on one of my whip goes, so I missed out on 2 of my whip goes, the 2 full coverage ones. I just made it really easy for myself. So this is one of my whip goes. Actually, I only missed one whip go, which was a full coverage one. This is Rejoice Evermore, and it's designed by With Thy Needle and Thread. Now this particular one, a conversion was done by Roxy Floxco, and these are the threads. Aren't they gorgeous? And I'm stitching it on 36 count porcelain. Yeah. What I've been trying to do all year, actually, since the beginning of the year, is I put 500 stitches into all of my projects, except for my daily stitch, which is the Wise and the Brave. I put 200 in. But most everything else is 500 stitches. If I'm stitching on a project, I'll stitch 500 stitches. And I worked on this yesterday. And I'll show you the whole border as I've completed that. I had to, okay. I've got thread hanging everywhere, I'm sorry. Okay, so I had to frog some of this out because what I did was I just willy-nilly went on and stitched the same as this up here, and that was wrong. It's just a single row of stitches. So anyway, I frogged that out. I frogged the 2 rows out either side of this one, and then I worked on the flower and these leaves yesterday, but I noticed I still haven't got 500 stitches in this, so this needs more, but it's going to get more anyway, and I'll explain in a minute why. So I worked on that yesterday. Yeah, I've been working to a schedule. I made a list of what I wanted to pack on what day to get this sorted out, and I stuck to that. In fact, I'm ahead of myself, so I'm happy with that. Okay, this next one I worked on was the Hockey Santa. Now, what I've been working on this very slowly. Jack is here and he's got a new toy, so I keep hearing a weird noise and it's him. So, okay, where is it? Here. So I think certainly since the last time you ever saw this, I've put at least 200 or 300 stitches in. I usually take this with me when I go to stitch with some ladies on a Thursday. I usually spend most of my time taking my stitching out after I've been to the group. So anyway, this is where I'm at. I really would like to get this finished before I move, because that would be kind of cool. Yeah, because I don't have too much. I need to put these skates in and do his hand, and his hand here, his head, the end of the hockey stick and the puck, and this little sack here, or at least finish it off. So it's not really too much. Oh, and I need to do this bit. So we'll see. I'll see if I can get it done. So I put a couple of stitches into that. Today, because it's the World Cup, if any of you noticed that, I worked on my Union Jack because, of course, I support England. I also support Canada. So I started working on this. I've got 400 stitches into this so far today. This is Union Jack by Vivsters. Hang on a minute. Let me pull up a picture. This is what it'll look like when it's finished. I'm stitching it on a 28 count Lugana. And I'll show you where I'm at. I'll show you where I'm stitching, where I've been stitching today. So I put just over 400 stitches in. Jack is here. He's on the table. He's a bad lad. So, yeah, okay. Let me fold it a bit more so I can hold it. So yeah, I stitched probably all the way up there. And I'll show you how much I've done all together. I think that's the total, yeah. So I'm really loving how this is coming out. Hello, Jack. Okay, it's time to clean himself. You do pick your moments, buddy. Okay, so that's basically all I've stitched on. Yeah, he's trying to catch the threads now. He's right here. What I've decided to do, like I said, I've left out 6 or 7 projects, and I'm going to concentrate on these projects over and over until after I've moved. When I move, it'll probably take me about a week to unpack. Maybe. I'm a bit older, so maybe it'll take me a bit longer. But I have a mission, so I want to unpack as fast as I can so I can get back to stitching. That's my plan. So I pulled out 6 projects. One of them is the Union Jack. It's the not the FA Cup. It's the World Cup supporting England. And then there's Wimbledon. So this is a good project. I'll work on my Prairie Schooler, which is also being stitched on a 28 count Lugana. I'll continue with Rejoice Evermore with Thy Needle and Thread, obviously with my Wise and Brave. And I also have, I have 2 more here, and I just want to show you where I'm at. If only Jack would move out the way. So I'm going to continue with this. This is September's Revenge by Maximum Cross Stitch. Yeah, can't tell you the details of the fabric right now. I do have them, but I have a cat in the way and he's trying to grab everything. There's a hanging thread, he's going to go for it. So this is my starting point with this one. Oh, Jack. There's plenty of hanging threads around here. And I'm also going to try and work on link. And I don't have a photo for this one, but that's where I am with link. So I'm going to rotate 500 stitches between each project, except for the Wise and the Brave, because I do 200 stitches every day on it. Stop it, Jack. But I also have another project that I'm working on, and these are my threads. I had to pull out some threads for myself because everything is packed. So not last week, the week before, I strained my back and I was in a lot of pain. So I was sitting here and I was just messing around with Chat GPT, as you do. And I am going to show you what I created. This is my nan's cottage. And a good friend, Janet Doucette, she charted it for me, and she put Mia in there, which Jack is jealous about. We call Jack JJ when he gets jealous. Jealous Jack. So yeah. So I created that and I've started it. And this one, it's obviously stitched on a 25 count Lugana, and it's 346,000 stitches. Yeah, I'll easily get it done in my lifetime, but you know. And I brought my stand right here, and I'm just gonna gently lift you over, Jack. And that's my fantastic start. It's about 175 stitches. That's all I've done. So thanks to Janet, I was able to start that one, but I didn't finish there. I mean, this has a lot of meaning to me. So my nan lived on a farm, and it was called Poplar Farm. She lived in the cottage. It was called Poplar Farm Cottage. Oh, this is not moving. Okay. And you see the cows in the fields, in the field there in the background. Well, those cows used to break down her fence and go into her back garden. She used to get quite angry about that. And in later years, it became a disused farm. It was great fun to play in. So, and then I created another chart with the help of ChatGPT and of Janet. So you see this was a card given to my husband and myself when we first moved into this house. And this is in, if you can read it, it's in Upper Slaughter in the Cotswolds in England. I love the Cotswolds. I always go to the Cotswolds. But this, it is a photo, has a specific meaning to me, because I have a sepia-toned photo downstairs of this exact place with my two boys paddling, looking into the water here. The exact same house, well, their cottages and everything. So I uploaded that to ChatGPT, and they put in what should be my two boys looking at the water with exactly the clothes on that they were wearing. They were just wearing white shorts and they didn't have a t-shirt on. And Janet, bless her heart, she charted this, created the chart for me. She made the wisteria that's under the roof line of those cottages a little brighter, so you can actually have some more colour in that. But yeah, I haven't started it, but isn't that gorgeous? That looks just like my two sons. So I'm really thrilled with that. That's going to be hard to stitch because of all the green and the brown, but it's the sentiment behind it. I don't know if I'll ever finish it. I can't remember how many stitches. It's 627 by 440 and 132 colours. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. So that's all I have for you today. I will be back next Monday and let you know. I'll show you the progress I've done on all of these projects. And yeah, and we'll see how far I can get between now and say, let's say July. Let me see. Oh, Jack is really sorry. Jack, I'm just going to look at the date. Let me see. So let's go, so from now until July the 20th. We'll see how far I can get. And Jack is going to be kind enough to say good night. Right, Jack? Here he is. He's being a little monkey lately. Okay, you go down there. Mia's very quiet. She's down here. Hope you can see her. There she is, scowling. She looks like she's scowling. Yeah, and Jack is back on the table. What can I say? He's going to knock my iPad off. And everything else for that matter. Okay, I'm going to love you and leave you. This again is a quick video. Hopefully I'll have more to show you next week with a lot more progress, because I'm hoping to get really into my stitching this week. If you're new here, I hope you come back and see what I've got up to. This is Jack. He is a big suck, aren't you? What can I say? Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll see you again soon. Have a great stitchy week. And yeah, let's hope the weather stays nice, because it's the summer in the northern hemisphere. I know it's getting cold in the southern hemisphere, but it's the way it is. I prefer it cooler than hotter. So anyway, take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye.